Welcome, beautiful Sigma ladies. Insult a Sigma female once, and she'll forgive you in a way that'll make you question your entire bloodline. It starts with a smirk. Not a shout, not a breakdown, just that cold, unreadable smirk that says, you just did something irreversible. Because here's the thing, Sigma females don't react to insults the way the world expects. They don't cry, they don't scream, they don't post vague quotes on Instagram with passive-aggressive captions. No, they calculate. According to psychologists, emotionally intelligent people rarely react with outbursts, but instead respond with intentional, strategic detachment. Well, Sigma females don't just fit that profile. They wrote the damn blueprint. So when you insult her, you won't even realize what you've unleashed. She won't clap back. She'll level up. Quietly, fatally, elegantly. And while you're still patting yourself for getting under her skin, she's already 7 steps ahead, recalibrating her orbit to make sure you never get close enough again. And sometimes, just sometimes, she lets you think you won, because watching you gloat is part of the show. Let's break it all down. These are the 12 unpredictable, spine-chilling, and brilliantly savage things a Sigma female will do when insulted. And trust me, by the end you'll either admire her or fear her. Maybe both. Number 1, she walks away, looking unbothered. But you're the one who just got studied. She walks away looking like she didn't even hear you. But make no mistake, she heard everything. And not just the insult itself, she caught the tone, the timing, the body language, even the energy behind your words. While you were too focused on landing a jab, she was already downloading the full psychological profile behind it. That's what makes her dangerous. You think you just insulted her and got away with it because she didn't respond. No comeback, no raised eyebrow, not even a sarcastic, nice try. She gave you nothing, but that's not silence. It's data collection. A Sigma female studies people the way some study crime scenes. She doesn't need to explode to make a statement. Instead, she files the entire encounter away like a case she'll never forget. She pays attention to the kind of insult you threw. Was it a joke disguised as a jab? Did it come from insecurity? Was it personal or was it just clumsy? She doesn't just listen, she analyzes. And that's terrifying if you really think about it. While you're laughing it off or waiting for her to crack, she's already moved into a different mode. Emotionally, she's shut the door. Psychologically, she's watching with the cool detachment of someone who just confirmed a theory about you. You just gave her proof that you're not who she thought you were, and now you've become less than a person in her eyes. You've become a pattern, a result, a line of code she just finished decoding. And the worst part? She won't even use it against you in some dramatic showdown. That would give you too much importance. Instead, she'll treat you accordingly from now on, subtly, completely, and without warning. Her energy will shift, and you'll feel it. You won't be able to explain it, but you'll know. Something changed. And it did. You just became someone she studied and quietly outgrew. You thought you won because she didn't respond, but you were being studied the whole time. She didn't react, not because she didn't care, but because you were already being erased, just not the way you expected. Number 2, she silences you by remembering everything. For later, she doesn't forget. Not because she's holding a grudge, but because she's gathering evidence. When you insult a Sigma female, and she stays silent, you might think you got away with it. You didn't. You just got archived. Every word, every little jab, every smirk. You handed her a blueprint of your character, and she saved it with perfect clarity. She doesn't lash out in the moment because she's not controlled by emotion. She doesn't need to win a petty argument. What she needs is understanding of who you really are, of what you're capable of saying when you think she's weak or off guard. She watches, remembers, and files it away, not to throw it in your face later, but to be prepared for when it really counts. Because she knows silence unnerves people far more than confrontation ever will. You'll walk away thinking she didn't notice, didn't care, maybe even took the hit. But days, weeks, months later, when the stakes are higher, when reputations are on the line or decisions need to be made, she'll bring it all back, not in rage, but with precision. That moment you forgot, she didn't. And when she moves, it won't be emotional. It'll be exact. It'll be strategic. It'll feel like karma with a surgical blade. Because what you thought was silence was actually her collecting ammo without saying a word. She doesn't need to raise her voice to dominate. She lets time do the talking. And by the time you realize it, you won't just feel outplayed, you'll feel exposed. Number 3, she mentally edits you out of her future. You might still be talking, you might even still be smiling, but in her mind, you are already gone. The moment you insult her, she starts editing, quietly, cleanly. She does not scream. She does not beg for respect. She just begins the process of removing you from her inner circle like cutting a scene from a film. No emotion, no dramatic goodbye, just a clean break, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. She stops imagining you in her future plans, stops considering your opinion, stops checking in with your energy. It is not cold. It is not cruel. It is simply decisive. You disrespected her space, so now she reclaims it completely. She does not need to tell you. You will just notice the shift. The conversations feel shorter, the eye contact fades, the warmth is gone, and yet she is not angry. She is just done. This is not revenge. It is not a game. It is deletion, and it is permanent. Sigma females do not give second chances easily because their energy is sacred. When you insult them, you break an invisible contract, and that contract is not up for renegotiation. What makes it even more unnerving is how calmly she does it. There is no breakdown, no dramatic exit. One day you will just realize she no longer includes you. You no longer matter to her progress, her peace, her plans. You're still alive, but in her world you have been erased. And the worst part, she does not look back. She does not stalk your pages. She does not talk about what happened. Once you are out, she never rewrites you back in. You thought she would fight for the connection, but she already replaced it with freedom, with clarity, with herself. You got edited and the cut was final. Number 4, she elevates instantly because the insult confirms her power. When you insult a Sigma female, you are not pulling her down. You are proving that she is already above you. That attempt to cut her is not an attack, it is a signal. It tells her exactly where she stands in your mind, and it is not beneath you. The moment the insult lands, she does not shrink. She expands, she upgrades. She takes it as confirmation that her presence, her energy, her confidence, it all threatens something inside you. And instead of letting that shake her, she uses it. It becomes fuel. Her clarity sharpens, her focus intensifies, her ambition catches fire. She does not need to prove you wrong with words. She lets her evolution do the talking. She levels up emotionally by detaching from what no longer serves her. She levels up mentally by recentering her energy on the things that actually matter. And sometimes she levels up materially. You insult her on Monday, and by Friday she is too far ahead for your voice to even reach her. What makes it worse for you is that she does not try to prove a point. She simply becomes better. And she does it with such ease that it almost feels personal. You tried to make her feel small, and now she is glowing, advancing, untouchable. The insult did not break her. It revealed her. And now you see it. You see the distance. You see the glow-up. You see her energy get cleaner, more focused, less accessible. What you thought would humiliate her only highlighted her power. You confirmed her strength by trying to question it. And now she is not angry. She is just elevated. You do not get access to her anymore. Not because she blocked you, but because she outgrew the level where insults like yours still matter. Number 5. She doesn't respond. She makes you wonder why you even tried. When you insult a Sigma female, you think you've wounded her. But what you've actually done is hand her a loaded report on your own insecurity. While you're waiting for a reaction, anger, sadness, maybe even tears, she's already gone quiet. Not because she's hurt, but because she's working internally, quietly, sharply. She doesn't absorb the insult emotionally. She breaks it down like an analyst in a lab. She listens to your tone, your choice of words, the timing of your jab. And instead of getting defensive, she starts piecing together what it says about you. That insult? It just became a roadmap to your soft spots, your jealousy, your hidden fears. You thought you were exposing her, but really, you exposed yourself. She saw it all. Your desperation to feel superior, your need to provoke, your lack of emotional discipline. You didn't challenge her. You confirmed something she already suspected. She doesn't just hear the words. You become a living case study. Not in a petty way, but in a deeply psychological one. You're now part of her internal database, filed under emotional volatility or unreliable under pressure. And the irony? She might even thank you, silently, for the insight. You just saved her time. While you leave the moment thinking you scored some kind of twisted victory, she walks away with something far more valuable. Data. Not on herself, but on you. And once she's seen that part of you, the part that lashes out instead of leveling up, you never look the same again in her eyes. She may still interact with you. She may still be polite. But now she sees behind the curtain, and she never forgets what's there. You weren't sharp. You were transparent. And she read you like a manual you didn't know you left open. Number 6. She switches from empath to exterminator without flinching. A Sigma female is known for her deep empathy, her quiet strength, and her ability to hold space for people without judgment. But what many forget, or never realize until it is too late, is that her empathy has limits. She may be patient, she may be understanding, but she is not naive. The moment you cross a certain line, she does not warn you. She does not ask for an apology. She simply shifts. There is no outburst, no dramatic reaction, just an instant transformation. Her softness is gone. The emotional safety you once felt around her vanishes like it was never there, and in its place is something sharper, colder, more exact. She becomes surgical with her boundaries. Where she once gave you chances, she now gives you silence. Where she once held space for your flaws, she now removes the entire room. Her emotional generosity becomes selective. Her tone becomes clinical. She does not ghost you. She makes you irrelevant. You might try to apologize. You might try to joke your way back in, but nothing works. Because now you are not dealing with the empath anymore. You are dealing with the version of her that knows better. And this version does not negotiate with disrespect. She does not need revenge. She does not seek chaos. She simply eliminates the problem, you. And the scariest part is how calm she is about it. There is no guilt in her eyes, no hesitation in her actions. It is like a switch flipped, and the warm version of her you knew never existed. People often mistake her empathy for weakness. They confuse her ability to listen with permission to cross lines. But when she transforms, you realize just how wrong that assumption was. Because she is not afraid to cut people off. She just gives you a chance not to make her do it. But if you do, she does not hesitate. She does not flinch. She does not come back. You do not get warnings. You do not get closure. You get removed with a kind of grace that feels almost cruel, not because she is heartless, but because she knows her peace is more valuable than your explanation. And once she becomes the exterminator, it is already too late. Number 7. She uses the insult as social X-ray vision. When you insult a Sigma female, you reveal far more than you realize. To you, it might seem like a quick remark, a slip of the tongue, or maybe a joke with an edge. But to her, it is X-ray vision. It cuts straight through the surface and shows her exactly what is hiding underneath your mask. She does not brush it off. She does not wait for an explanation. She simply watches, processes, decodes. That one insult, that one moment tells her everything she needs to know. Not just about your opinion of her, but about your emotional maturity, your level of respect, and your character when you think no one is paying close attention. She does not ask for clarity. She does not give you room to spin the story. Because to her, insults are not accidents. They are reveals. They are little windows into the parts of you you thought you were hiding. And once she sees them, she cannot unsee them. She does not argue. She does not get emotional. She just adjusts. That adjustment might look like her pulling away. It might look like a drop in energy, a lack of interest, or a shift in how much access you have to her. And you will feel it. Because when a Sigma female sees your true nature, she does not announce it. She simply starts treating you like someone who is no longer safe to be close. This is why people often feel confused when she distances herself. They wonder what went wrong. The truth is, something did go wrong. You revealed who you really are. And while others might give you the benefit of the doubt, she will not. She does not deal in illusions. She values truth even when it is uncomfortable. especially when it is uncomfortable. You may try to explain it away. Say it was stress, say it was sarcasm, but by then it is too late. The scan is complete, the damage is done. And now she sees you clearly, not as who you pretend to be, but as who you actually are. And that is exactly why you will never be allowed that close again. Number 8. She destroys you casually by thriving publicly. She does not come for you with drama. She does not go on long rants or post cryptic messages hoping you see them. That is not her style. When a Sigma female is insulted, she does not try to convince anyone of her worth. She simply thrives, so boldly, so effortlessly, that your insult becomes laughable in the shadow of her success. She turns the disrespect into drive. While you are still patting yourself for delivering a clever jab, she is already working, sharpening her skills, elevating her mindset, and building a life that renders your opinion completely meaningless. She does not need to say a word because her progress speaks for her, and that is what makes it hurt the most. You expected tears, you expected anger, you expected her to spiral, but instead she rises, she glows, she moves so far beyond your insult that you start to feel small for even thinking you had that kind of power. What she does is not revenge, it is revelation. She shows you exactly who she is, not through words but through results. And the best part, she never addresses you, not even once. She acts like you no longer exist. Her silence is not empty. It is full of achievements that you now have to witness from the outside. You may try to dismiss it as coincidence, try to pretend you are not watching, but you are. Everyone is. And the more she rises, the more obvious it becomes. Your insult did not break her. It exposed you. It showed who was threatened and who was unbothered. She thrives with no apology, no explanation, and no intention of ever looking back. And while you are stuck trying to be noticed, she is busy being undeniable. Your words, they did not scar her. They aged badly. They faded. And now they sit forgotten in the background, while she lives in full color. Number 9. She learns exactly where you're soft, and stores that information forever. A Sigma female does not just take the insult and walk away empty-handed. She walks away with something far more valuable, intel. While you think she brushed it off, she was actually paying attention to something deeper than your words. She was watching you, how you said it, why you said it, what you were trying to cover up, and where you accidentally exposed yourself. She does not get loud, she gets quiet, and in that quiet she takes mental notes. Notes on where your confidence cracked, where your jealousy leaked through, where your insecurities showed themselves, even if only for a second. She sees it all, and she files it. She may never use it. In fact, she usually doesn't. But if you ever cross that line again, if you come back swinging twice as hard or try to humiliate her when you think she is vulnerable, she will respond. And when she does, it will not be random. It will be precise. It will be surgical. She knows exactly what will make you unravel. She knows what part of you is just armor and what part is actual skin. She knows where to press if she ever needs to end the game quickly, and you will never see it coming. Because she does not walk around acting like she has dirt on you. She lets you keep thinking you are safe, until you prove you are not. This is what makes her dangerous in the most unsettling way. Not because she is cruel, not because she is petty, but because she is always observing, always remembering, always preparing, not for war, but for self-defense that cuts deeper than you imagined possible. And the moment you realize she saw that weak spot in you, the one you thought no one noticed, is the moment you understand just how underestimated she was. She did not hit back the first time. She did not need to. She was too busy studying the blueprint of your ego and storing it like a weapon she hopes she never has to use. But if she does, game over. Number 10. She doesn't demand respect. She removes the option to disrespect her. A Sigma female does not waste her breath begging for respect. She does not give speeches. She does not try to teach you how to treat her. If you do not see her value on your own, she assumes you were never meant to be close to her in the first place. When you insult her, she does not chase validation. She simply makes a quiet decision, and that decision is final. She removes the opportunity for it to happen again. No warnings, no emotional outbursts, just a subtle but complete exit from your reach. You will not even realize it at first. One day, she is present. The next, she is gone. You might still have her number, but the connection feels dead. You might still be in the same room, but her energy no longer includes you. She becomes unreachable, not because she is being dramatic, but because she has upgraded her standards. Respect is not something she begs for. It is something she enforces with her absence. Once you show her you cannot handle her with care, she does not try to correct you. She simply takes the entire experience away from you. And the more you try to find your way back in, the more you realize you are locked out and the key no longer exists. What hurts the most is how effortlessly she does it. There is no scene, no revenge, no social media fireworks, just distance, clean, quiet, and permanent. You do not get a second chance to insult her, not because she hates you, but because you already showed her who you are. And once she sees it, she never unsees it. This is why people often feel haunted after disrespecting a Sigma female. Not because she destroyed them, but because she erased them in a way that leaves no trace of the connection that once was. She does not demand respect. She designs a life where only the respectful survive, and by the time you realize what you lost, she is already too far ahead to hear your apology. Number 11, she closes the emotional door, but keeps you watching through the window. When a Sigma female is insulted, she does not always vanish completely. Sometimes, she does something far more calculated. She closes the emotional door, but leaves the blinds wide open. You no longer have access to her heart, her mind, or her inner world. But she lets you watch what you lost. She does not do this out of pettiness. It is not about revenge. It is about letting you sit with the reality of what happens when you take her for granted. She removes the warmth, the connection, the depth, but she doesn't completely disappear. In fact, she becomes even more visible, but only on the surface. You can see her, but you cannot reach her. You hear her laugh, but it is no longer for you. You see her rise, but you are no longer part of the process. It is a form of quiet justice, the kind that hurts more than screaming ever could. Because now you are on the outside, watching someone who once let you in, and realizing just how much you underestimated her. She is not blocking you. She is not yelling. She is just done letting you experience her softness. This is her way of setting a boundary so sharp it stings without saying a word. She wants you to know what you had, and she wants you to feel the loss, not by force, but by contrast. You once had her trust, her energy, her loyalty. Now you have a front row seat to a show that no longer includes you in the script. And the worst part? She's thriving, glowing, leveling up in every way. You get to witness her becoming everything you tried to belittle, and there is nothing you can do about it. She is not trying to make you feel bad. She is just being herself, fully, without interruption. And that truth alone is heavy. This is the genius of the Sigma female. She does not have to cut deep to make a point. She just stops giving you what made you feel powerful in the first place. Access. You are still watching her life, but from the outside now. No key, no invitation, just a closed door and a painful, unobstructed view. Number 12. She puts a price tag on your energy and realizes you're overpriced. When a Sigma female is insulted, she doesn't spiral. She does the math. In that split second, she recalculates everything, your worth, your contribution, your emotional cost. And more often than not, the numbers don't look good. She's not bitter, she's not bruised, she's just aware that she's been giving too much for too little, too much grace, too much access, too much patience. And your insult, that's the receipt. That's the confirmation she needed that the emotional exchange rate is off, and she's the one taking the loss. So she adjusts, quietly, efficiently, and without apology. The same way a smart investor pulls out of a sinking deal, she pulls out of emotional spaces that no longer make sense. If she gave you her time, her care, her presence, she now questions whether you earned it or just got lucky. And once she sees the imbalance, she doesn't try to fix it. She starts cutting. Your calls go unanswered. Your presence loses priority. Your influence drops to zero. You don't even realize it at first because she doesn't make a scene. But the distance grows fast, and it's intentional. She may have once seen you as a valuable part of her world, but now you're overpriced. And she doesn't pay above market value for people who insult her intelligence, her kindness, or her presence. This is not pettiness. This is personal economy. She doesn't just protect her energy, she audits it. And when the numbers no longer add up, she's gone. Not angry, not bitter, just done investing in someone who can't afford to treat her right. And the most brutal part? You don't get a chance to renegotiate. Once she realizes she overpaid, the deal is off, and your access? Permanently discontinued. Insulting a Sigma female is never just a moment. It's a mistake that unfolds slowly, quietly, and with consequences you never saw coming. She won't meet your insult with drama. She won't stoop to your level. What she will do is far more unsettling. She will shift, strategically, permanently. She remembers, she observes, she upgrades. And by the time you realize she was never shaken, only silent, the damage is already done. You didn't bruise her ego, you exposed your own. And she won't come for you. She'll just continue becoming untouchable while you wonder how you went from being someone she trusted to someone she erased. Sigma females don't play the insult game because they've already outgrown the arena. Their silence isn't weakness, it's calculation. Their distance isn't cold, it's clarity. And their evolution? That's the final answer to every insult ever thrown their way. So if you thought you hurt her, think again. You didn't break her, you just lost access to a woman who was built to rise in silence and win without saying a word. If this resonated with you, don't just scroll. Take a second to support the channel. Like this video if you respect the silent strength of Sigma females. Comment below. What part hit the hardest? What did you feel in this breakdown? Share this with someone who needs to understand the quiet power they keep underestimating. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more raw, unapologetic, and brutally honest content that cuts deeper than surface-level motivation. This isn't just another channel. This is a movement for those who move in silence and strike with clarity. Don't miss what's coming next.